Maria and Regi Show. Don't just look for chemistry, look for connection. This week's topic is, does he love me, or does he just want to lust me? People say that lust leads to love, but does it just lead to a night of hot sex? Let's welcome the fabulous Maria and the #1 relationship coach, Regi Rodgers.
Hey, welcome to Maria and Regi Show.
Hey, what's up, Maria? How are you?
I'm doing great, Regi.
You surprised me. I'm supposed to open, and I didn't realize we were opening, but nevertheless, hey, this show is all about dating and relationships, but the thing that we focus on more than anything else is understanding that it's not about just chemistry, but it's about
connection. I don't like the connection. I don't like the chemistry either.
You don't like either.
So this is Mr. Our #1 relationship coach, Mr. Regi Rodgers.
Thank you, Maria. And so I have as my esteemed co-host, Miss Maria.
Yes, the anti-relationship, remember that.
She is anti. She doesn't like chemistry. She doesn't like connection. But we got something for her today. Because today, Maria, you know, the show is all about, really, understanding this link between love and matrimony. Because this link between love and matrimony is really relatively recent. That's what people don't realize. You know, it's relatively recent, but you know, when you look at human history, love really was not the point of marriage.
Yes, I just actually did run through my research earlier.
Okay.
And I hope I am gonna have a few things that I can contribute on this topic.
I'm sure. So I think today's show is going to be for you because we're talking about what's love got to do with it. And you started off by saying you don't believe in chemistry, which I don't believe you. You don't believe in connection, which I don't believe you either. But nevertheless, you say you don't believe in chemistry or connection. So we're going to talk to you, and in particularly today, about what love got to do with it. You know what I mean? It's
what's
almost
love
like
got to do with it? I think everything has to do with it.
well, I mean, it's almost like, you know, when I hear that and I think that what's love got to do with it, I think of Janet Jackson saying basically like, well, what have you done for me lately? You know, like, so it's like, well, what's love got to do with it? I pair those two together. It's like, you know, it's like I'm seeing a woman saying in the same breath, what have you done for me lately? It's just like she's saying, well, what's love got to do with it? I can just see that.
You know, so who is the singer of the song?
Janet Jackson
Oh,
says,
Janet
what have
Jackson.
you
I
done
was
for me
thinking,
lately?
yeah.
But the song, What's Love Got to Do With It, is by Tina Turner.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What? Yeah, that's Tina
Yeah,
Turner.
oh, okay, got you,
Okay.
got you. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. What's love got to do with it?
Yeah,
So
no,
do you
that's-
know what is the origination of the song? Why did they come up with it?
Oh, I don't know the origination of the song, but you know, she makes some powerful statements in that song. What's love got to do with love is nothing but a secondhand emotion. And one of the statements she says in there is love just a second-hand emotion. Not first, but second. So I wonder what's the first-hand emotion if love is the second-hand emotion.
I think it's a physical attraction.
You think that's the first? Well, I think physical attraction is the initial look. I think that's the first initial look. That's the attention getter. That's what gets your attention.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, that part of it. But you got to build.
I think it's the first. Then is maybe the attitude, the chemistry.
Chemistry is deeper than chemistry. You know, we start off the show by saying there's more than chemistry. You got to have a connection.
So the
so
connection.
it's deeper than chemistry. You know, because chemistry is, in all. For all purposes, chemistry is becomes a byproduct of having a solid connection. When there's a solid connection, chemistry just becomes a byproduct. So, you know, she says, what's love got to do with it? It's just a second-hand emotion. But we're going to get into that today because we got some power. You know, we're probably going to put people on the edge of their seats because people feel like the reason to marry is love. And I write in my book, the reason to marry is love is in it, but it's not the focus. It's not the main focus.
And the book is, do you have the book today?
I just brought it. Because I was going to read a segment from the chapter that I write about, that where I talk about love is definitely in it, but it's not the reason.
It's not the number one.
No.
Yes. Is that? Now I want to know what's the number one. Maybe I'm gonna find me a boyfriend after this.
Well, I'm gonna share with you my number one reason. I'm not sure what Tina Turner was saying, but maybe she and I may have been on the same page, on the same wavelength. But I'm going to share with you my number one reason, as it relates to marriage.
What is it?
Are we going to talk about it now?
No, because you know what? I want to know.
You want to just hurry up and go there.
No. I want to actually chill down over here because I want to talk about your day and my day,
All
my
right.
week actually. I don't know if you see that.
What am I looking?
There is a block in here. I don't know if you see it.
A block?
Yeah, there is something in here,
Like a
a
block?
red. Yeah.
Like a big block?
No, it's a small one. It's kind of like like a bruise.
Like somebody punched you or something?
No, it's actually I was making our Filipino cuisine chicken adobo the other day, and when I'm trying to rush it so I can eat, so I turn it up like high fire, right?
Okay.
And then I open the lid and the oil just like jump in my face, like boom. I'm like, what the heck?
Wow.
I thought I'm gonna have my whole face burned the next day. I'm glad. No, I'm prettier than ever.
All right. Okay. Well, hey.
How about you? What's your experience?
You can't keep a good woman down. How about that? You can't keep her down. My day has been great. I feel like every day is a great day to be alive. Every day is what you make it.
Yeah.
And so it's all about
I
your
agree.
perspective. My perspective every day is today's going to be greater than yesterday. Tomorrow will be greater than today. It's all about your perspective. That doesn't mean that you don't have highs and lows. It's just how you handle the lows. When you have the lows, you just make the lows become a high.
I love that. I always live for the day.
Right.
Yes, it's not forgetting what is the past, but I want to live for the day. What happened yesterday is already behind.
Right.
And then I live for the day. I look for the future,
Right.
but I still live. My priority is the day.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, it definitely makes sense. That's why today you have to be in the now or in the present. That's why in this now moment it's called the present, because it is a present.
Yep.
And it's up to us to unwrap what this now moment entails. And so we unfold and unwrap what's in this present moment. And it's a beautiful thing, irregardless of the vicissitudes of life, whatever we deal with as it relates to life encounters, it's always a beautiful thing as we unwrap every moment. That's why it's called a present.
That's
There's nothing like the present.
That's the love got to do with it. That's your love during your love for the day.
Yeah.
So there is
love
something
has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, there
But
you
now
go,
when
guys.
we talk about marriage, we got to find out what's love got to do with
it.
that.
Yes. Yes. So anyways, we were talking about your YouTube and your weekly questions and answer that we're supposedly doing it this week.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about that really quick.
Okay. So every week on my Facebook, I ask a question to ladies. I may ask something like, how do you bounce back after a bad breakup?
Yes.
And then I get all their responses.
I want that question.
Or how do you take back control of your life after a bad breakup? Things like that. And then I get all their responses, and I asked it on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'll give them a live answer.
Wow, I love that.
So that there's interaction between myself and the ladies who've answered the questions. And so we do that every Wednesday. So I think next week we're going to incorporate the questions, a weekly question, into our show next week.
Yes. Yeah. And where they can actually see that? Your page on Facebook, right?
Yes, just see Regi, Ragi Rodgers, Rodgers, see Regi Rodgers. and then you'll see my logo there, number one relationship coach. My logo is there. But you know, everything that I do, and I want people to understand that everything that I do as it relates to dating and relationships. We've got a lot of great dating and relationship coaches. We've got a lot of people who give great advice. But my advice, I'm maturing into, and I want to be known as the relationship coach who gives advice from an expanded conscious perspective.
Yes.
And so expanded consciousness is expanding your mind to see beyond what you actually see. So you'll hear a lot of dating and relationship tools and things that are you know, food for thought. But you're not going to get it from an expanded conscious perspective, because that's what I'm all about, dating from an expanded conscious perspective. When we talk about dating from an expanded conscious perspective, it's all about, we're not focusing on what's missing, we're focusing on what we want to create in the mind. So it's expanding the mind to a place of creation so that, watch this, visualization brings the manifestation. So what I visualize, I have the ability to materialize, because now it brings the manifestation. Because if I can see it up here, if I can get it up here, I can probably get it in a tangible. But I have to see it up here first. So I'm all about taking you to that place of what your ideas are, what you visualize. Now you materialize and you get the manifestation.
That is really funny. So meaning, you if you want a relationship, you have to create it from here, right?
Yes.
So if you don't want a relationship, avoid creating it from here.
Well, I mean, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Everything starts in the mind.
It is.
So it's all about, for me, expanding. So it's that dating from an expanded consciousness. You have to be conscious and intentional and specific as it relates to what you want. It starts up here. So we're going to create it up here and then watch the universe bring it.
Okay. Well, this is our number one relationship coach. And if you guys need, if you guys want any type of advice about relationship, you go to him. And if you don't want any relationship, you come to me. So that's how it works here. I'll give you everything that is all red flags that might happen. You know what funny was? Somebody told me that the reason why I don't have a boyfriend is because every time I have a man coming into my life, instead of qualifying them, I am disqualifying them. I'm looking every single wrong thing with a guy.
Well, see, that's what we just talked about in terms of the expanded consciousness. You don't look for what's missing. You don't look for what's wrong. You look for what you want to create. And so if you can get it to the place of creation, that's the imagination. Imagination plus visualization equals manifestation.
Well, whenever I'm ready to look, then I will do that. But right now, I'm going to disqualify.
Okay, so now I'm going to add another one. So now we have disqualification.
We're going to add that. See, this is what I love about this man. It's totally like, he has, when it comes to my like, oh no, like I don't want a relationship, he has all the answer, and he has all the if you guys want to date me, go to him, okay?
So you want to run them through me before I run them to you?
Anyways, so we are you ready for our topic? We're gonna go on a break, and then
I'm ready.
We'll get this, we'll dive in when we come back. Please don't go away. And if you guys wanna chime into our conversation, you're free to do so. We have our telephone number on the bottom of the screen, 702-623-8889. And please, no nude photos, no flirting on that cell phone, because that cell phone is for social media shows only. We don't actually entertain any flirting on that cell phone, or on that telephone number, I meant. So we will be right back. Please don't go away. And we're gonna we're gonna dive into our topic, which
What's
is,
love got to do with it?
ooh, what's love got to do with it?
Social media shows network were initiated in 2017. Since then, our founder, Maria Pureza, never stopped developing a system on social media. In building a network of passionate people that loves to entertain, coach, help others, and deliver informative information to the public, informally, in a low-cost production. Built a platform that surpassed Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media live streaming, that exceeded the function of a podcast. Her main goal is to be able to broadcast on social media like a traditional TV setup, involving a group of broadcasters, YouTubers, podcasters, and social media live streamers. Maria is building the confidence of non-actors and non-famous people that joins her to network. We are here to promote and support one another, to help our community grow collectively without inhibitions but with confidence and high self-esteem. We love to be in this family together. Our door is open to help you build your brand, opening opportunities for others, and outreach to our community. We welcome you to the family of social media shows. As we continue to grow and build a brand, social media shows continue to develop and discover new possibilities to help one another. Our affordable services will help us move to the next level of our journey. Host your own show to inspire or entertain others for as low as $150 per month.
You have 20 shows a week. Live stream.
We are looking for sponsors. We showcase your business products and services on our network to be seen by your target market for as low as $200 a month.
That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows that will reach over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website links, and connections to nonprofit organizations.
Let us promote and advertise your event, giving your venue the red carpet treatment. This platform allows venues that feature entertainment, singers, bands, DJs, comedy, fashion, corporate events, and family events to be showcased in a new direction that also involves your audiences. Start at $200 an hour. We also provide video editing, website builder, commercial video for your business, music videos, photography, provided by our affiliates. As we build our community, we pay it forward. Our nonprofit organization GI Connections is all about giving back to our community.
Join us create outreach programs to help our community and live a happy, peaceful, and unity. Let us bring the world to you. Thank you to our affiliates who trusted and hold us by the hand. We truly appreciate your support and we are looking forward to a longer relationships. GI Connections. VIP Vacations. James Presley Recording Studio. Power X Energy Drinks. Moke Experience. 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. Revolution Radio 2. Rhythm Vision. Westgate Resorts Las Vegas. The Giving Water. Whalers Creation. The Funk Jam. The Iron Monk Tattoo Society. GG Chic. Las Vegas Entertainment. Fantasy at Luxor. Action Shot Productions. Ask us to learn more how to be part of our affiliate today.
A fairy tale they say.
I think that empowering women is so important. There are so many negative things that are being said about women in today's society that it is crucial that women help encourage and motivate and inspire each other. At the end of the day, who do we really have? We have each other. So please tune in to our wonderful Honeybee Show every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Be there so you can be a part of our discussion on how we can empower each other. At the end of the day, it's about you and me and we coming together to make a difference.
And your loving smile, you sensitive and down to earth style, princess, oh princess.
Maria and Regi Show. Don't just look for chemistry, look for connection. This week's topic is, does he love me, or does he just want to lust me? People say that lust leads to love, but does it just lead to a night of hot sex? Let's welcome the fabulous Maria and the #1 relationship coach, C. Regi Rodgers.
So, are we ready?
Yes, we're ready. Well, I'm gonna actually, this is actually the Maria and Regi Show. And our topic this week is...
What's love got to do with it?
What's love?
You can't, you actually can't say that without thinking that song.
Yeah, I know.
As soon as you say that, the song just
pop up. Yes, I was actually reading it this morning. I was like, the song is just running it in my head like automatically. I'm like, okay, I'm not a singer, but anyways, and plus our Tina Turner tribute artists here on social media shows always sing that on their show. They have a comedy show, and she always sing it. So that's why it's just totally like it's part of my life now.
It's a part of you.
Yeah, it's a part of me. But anyways, as we were talking about earlier, our topic today is about what love got to do with it. Is that what's love got to do with it?
I mean, it's not proper English, because if it was proper English, it would say, what's love? What does love have to do with it? But we're not talking proper English. We're talking Ebonics now. Yeah. So what's love got to do with
Filipino. It? But anyways, let me just read this to actually start this conversation or this topic.
Okay.
through most okay, I'm gonna go in the intro. Okay, I know that you heard the intro from our intro video, but I'm just gonna read it again. The link between love and matrimony is relatively recent.
Relatively.
Huh?
Relatively.
Relatively. Oh, what did I say?
Relatively.
Oh,
It does look like that, but it's relatively.
yeah. Through most of human history, love was not at all the point of marriage. Through most of human history, love was not at all I just said that. Marriage was about getting families together. The notion that a couple would marry to love was almost an social was almost antisocial. In fact, parents could disown their kids for doing it. The Greeks the Greeks thought that love sickness was a type of insanity. I need my eyeglasses. In the Middle Ages, the French defined love as a derangement of the mind that could be cured by sexual intercourse with a different partner. You know what? When I'm reading this morning, um, I am thinking a lot of different type of marriage, like those they set up marriage, arranged marriage,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then the
That's
mail
what used
order.
to happen.
Yeah,
That's
mail
what used to happen.
order brides kind of thing. Yes.
See, that's really what used to happen, because you said something that's so important here that the audience need to capture, because you said the link between love and matrimony is relatively recent. And when we go through this today, we're going to see how recent love and matrimony, how they're linked together, but how recent they are. You know, because when we talk about what love got to do with it, some people would cringe and say, well, wait a minute, love has everything to do, it has all to do with it. But when you understand the history and how marriages came about, you'll begin to discover that even if we go to, you know, for some people who are Bible readers and people who study scripture, even when you look at Adam and Eve, that was an arranged marriage. It was an arranged marriage. Because
That's right, yeah.
Adam was here. God saw fit that man shouldn't be alone, according to the scripture. So he reached into man's, created a woman, and then here comes Eve. So here was an arranged marriage. Now, did they have time to have a court? Did they have time to court each other? Did they have time to date each other?
No.
Did they have time? So it was really an arranged marriage. So that's why when we talk about, that's why I wanted to make sure that we get this very, very clear, because the link between love and matrimony is relatively recent. But you also said something in there too that I think people need to catch, is the notion that a couple would marry for love was almost antisocial. That's huge. In fact, parents could disown their kids for doing it. So, you said that the Greeks thought that love sickness was a type of insanity.
Yep.
Now, Greeks, I feel like, are extremely qualified to talk about love, because when we talk about Greek and we talk about love as it relates to Greek history, Greeks have so many different words that they use for love, but again, the Greeks thought that love sickness was a type of insanity. The Greeks talk about love from the standpoint of phileo. That's a sisterly, brotherly type of love. The Greeks talk about love from the standpoint of eros. That's a touchy-feely type of love. Phileo is where we get our English word Philadelphia. Eros is where we get our English word erotica. And then they talk about this other type of love, which is the agape type of love, which is the unconditional type of love. And that's where Christians base the love that Christ or God has for the church or for his people, an unconditional kind of love. So now Greeks seem to me to be zeroing in on what we call this love thing.
So what is the main reason why people are married?
Well, that's what we want to talk about, because I think once we get into this, you know, there's a portion in my book, you know, and I say this, in fact, I say this in my book, I say love is not the reason to marry. One of the things I say though, love is in it, but it's not the reason. So then people will say, well, what's the reason?
Yeah, that's my question.
Well,
What is the
well,
reason
then
why
what
to
is-
marry?
what-
I think one is sex. Second is financial.
Do you think that's the reason people marry? Sex and financial?
Well, some people do.
You could stay single and have sex, right?
Well, they
You don't necessarily have to get married to say, let's have sex, is my
well,
point.
they probably wanted it to be, to be exclusive.
You could still
entitled.
you could still stay single and communicate and say we're going to be exclusive, and hopefully that's what it's going to be, because you could say you could be exclusive in a marriage and still not be exclusive. So you could still say stay single and hope that you guys are exclusive
Hope.
And have sex. So you don't really have to get married for that.
Well, at
So,
least when you're married,
so
you're
we just
tying it down.
disqualified sex. You can also financially, you can also have coexist financially without being married. So we could just disqualify that. So
Okay,
so what do you think it is?
Oh, it's kids.
So they want to have kids. That's why they get
Yes,
married.
That's probably one
But
reason.
we know a lot of people who have kids that are not married. So then,
They're disqualified.
so
So,
let's
love
forget.
is not. So why?
So here's what I think. I think the reason for marrying is knowing that you have selected the right person that the universe has chosen for you. Because I think when you select the right person that the universe has chosen for you, there's a knowing. Now watch how key this is. There's a knowing, because if you know that you've chosen the right person without any trepidation and hesitation, then love becomes a byproduct. But the word know is a word of intimacy. When you study that, you discover that the word know is a word of intimacy. For example, again, the scripture teaches, Mary says, how can I have become pregnant when I have not known a man? So she's equating the word know to a word of intimacy. I have not known a man, but yet I'm pregnant. Right?
Yep.
So she equates that to being intimate. And then we also know it is the truth that you know that has the ability to make you free. So this word is a word of intimacy.
This is how actually intellectual this man. You're so on point of all the words and everything. Go ahead. And I love it. I love it.
So when we understand that, if you know that you have chosen the right person without any trepidation, without any hesitation,
Any doubt?
then love becomes the byproduct. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
So my question is, how if you don't want to know a man, but you want to fall in love with yourself?
you want to fall? What? You want to fall in love with yourself? But no. Let's back up a little bit,
okay,
because
go
I think if I go here, I can answer where you're going. Because love does not lead you. That's what we're establishing right now. Love does not lead you. So then, what leads you? It is the vibration. It is having the right frequency. It is being on the right vibratory understanding. The vibration and having the right frequency is what leads you. So now, when the vibration and the frequency is clicking, you will know, there's our word again, you will know it, because it then now begins to resonate with your spirit. See, here's what I tell people all the time.
That's the spiritual part.
There's a spiritual component to it. Here's what I tell people all the time. Relationships will either make you or break you. The challenge is figuring out how do you align yourself with someone who resonates with your spirit. No love in that,
Relationship will always break you.
according to you. But again, they can make you or they can break you. They typically break you when you have not aligned yourself with someone who resonates with your spirit.
I don't want anybody aligned with my spirit.
That's you, but there are so many people out there who are now saying, whoa, this light is coming on. Oh my God. See, this is this expanded conscious perspective. This is what I'm talking about. It's all about taking you and expanding your mind now taking you into a whole nother realm. And this is what we're doing right now with Maria. We're taking it to another realm. And I'm going to get you to come along here in a minute. That's okay. You're lagging behind, but I'm going to get you to come along in just a moment here. Because if you have chosen the right person without any trepidation or hesitation, I can't say it enough, then love becomes the byproduct. And I'm going to show you how this looks.
But why do we need love when it's nothing to do with marriage?
Well, again, there are aspects to love. So let's say if we understand this aspect, the eros aspect of love, touchy-feely. You just talked about the sexual, the physical, the touch. So now that's just an aspect. So how we have that love aspect of it, because some people misconstrue physical for being in love.
Mm-hmm.
Some people totally misconstrue that.
Of course.
So there's this disillusionment in regards to the physical and being in love. And so sometimes the physical will contaminate and get in the way of really what you think love is.
Yep. That's what I was gonna, okay.
Okay?
You're answering my question without me asking the question. I love it.
It's in the mind. The mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Exactly.
So really, love does not lead you. It's the vibration, it's the frequency. And so when the vibration and the frequency is clicking, you're going to know it because it's going to begin to resonate with your spirit.
And don't ignore it either.
You can't.
You can ignore it.
I mean, well, the root word for ignorance is ignore. That's the root word for ignorance. And so sometimes when you do ignore, you end up looking very ignorant.
Yeah. So when I'm ignoring how I feel, I'm ignorant. I admit it.
Okay.
And I don't, it's okay. So.
Well, long as you know. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
long
of course. Of course, I know how that feels. I've been there, done that, right?
But there's a pattern here that I want people to catch, because this is what it looks like. So when people are saying, well, you're using vibration, you're using frequency, you're using this, what does it mean? So it's a pattern. It looks like this.
It sounds like it's so hard to find that love.
I think anything in life is only as hard as you make it.
Okay.
I do.
That's a boom.
I think anything in life is only as hard as we make it.
I think you're right about that. You got me on that part. Okay, go ahead, continue.
So here we use this word. We're using frequency. We're using vibratory. We're using vibration. So this is how it looks. See, frequency is allowing the mind to dial into a place that the other person downloads from. Catch that. Frequency is allowing the mind to dial into a place that the other person is downloading from. So now we're getting on that same frequency because I'm dialing into where they're downloading from. So now you ever somebody say, I just feel like we're on the same page. Mm-hmm. That's because now I'm downloading from the same where they're dialing. I'm dialing into where they're downloading from. That's the frequency. And then you got then what happens after that is two people then receive the same input. So
it's part of communication.
So yes,
but communication through.
But I was going to say it's the vibe.
Yeah.
When somebody says, "Oh my God, he just has such a good vibe. I just love his vibe." She says, he says, "Oh my gosh, she just has a great vibe," or she says he's got a great vibe. They're feeling each other's vibrancy. They're receiving it. The input there's a download, and they're both receiving it. That's what they're getting. You understand the vibe?
Yeah, listen so carefully because it makes sense. I don't, for people like me, I don't really highly recommend it because you might actually entice yourself into it and then wonder one day you're falling in love. So, okay, go ahead. I love this.
So everything is energy. Mm-hmm. Everything is energy. So now the energy we're exuding great energy, good vibe. And for me, I have a saying. I say when the energy is when the energy is wrong, my conversation is not long.
Yep, cut it off right away.
when the energy is off,
You know that you're the one who's cutting it off, right?
yes, it's
Yeah,
me.
okay.
Because when the energy's wrong, I just don't have a long conversation. So when the energy is wrong, my conversation is not long. But when we're vibing, people look, oh my God, we just vibe so well together. So what happens when we're vibing, there is what is called this wavelength. This wavelength is what carries it. So we're on this wavelength and it's carrying it, and the conversation is flowing because we're on this wavelength and it's carrying it out, and we're vibing together. The energy is good, and so we're connecting. See?
So you're going to the connection. So let me tell you this. Why does, before we go on the third, because we're going to go on break first before we go on the third.
Okay.
So why does people who actually felt so connected, very connected from the beginning to a long time, and they start disconnecting? Do you know what actually, what virus like coronavirus get into the relationship?
Yeah.